thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. It's a pleasure to be here. What a lovely crowd and a beautiful venue. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk today. So yeah, we're talking about risk. I would put, to your point, Seb, I would put risks in sort of two categories, right? I think the first category of risk that I think is that we need to address in the market is, frankly, risks to the market, right? There's a lot of outside external factors right now that are limiting the market's ability to scale, and people are afraid to invest, right? There's a lack of demand, there's a lack of investment, and those two things kind of go together. And those risks, in my view, I would categorize them in sort of two. The risks to the market, I think, are twofold. One is that the sort of atmosphere and the environment of civil society players that today, up to now, right, has sort of almost governed the market and set the standards and sort of helped companies and developers to decide what is good enough, right? I think the risk is that that group of civil society players would sort of fail to understand what moves businesses and to create, and as a result, right, will continue, as they have, to create incentives or to fail to create incentives that will be meaningful for businesses to take action, right? We know that we're going to need $275 trillion between now and 2050 to get ourselves to net zero. Where is that money going to come from? Probably not governments, probably not philanthropies. We need it to come from the private sector. And the risk to the market today is that it wouldn't scale because we sort of fail to create the right incentives. That's the first risk. The second risk to the market, and I think if you've been here for the whole morning session, you've seen there are a lot of different types of credits. My other sort of concern is that we may fail to invest in the credits that are going to do the most in the most economically efficient way to limit emissions. For example, protecting nature. And so, I think to the extent people are choosing to invest in removals, right? And if you have been in the market, you know what this means. I won't bore you with sort of the discussion. But, a lot of companies right now are moving to removals because of, frankly, risk number one, right? They're afraid of the credibility sort of gap that they perceive, right, due to civil society pressure. But what that means is we're going to fail to invest in protecting the standing stocks. We're going to fail to protect nature and the avoided emissions that we can generate, right? If we put our money to work protecting, the existing standing stocks. So those are sort of the two risks that I would see right now to the market.